Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something called Quality 4.0. It's a concept that is totally shaking up how things get made, from the factory floor all the way to the products you use every day. So let's start with a big question. We're in the middle of this massive digital shift, right? Industry 4.0. And it makes you wonder, what happens to quality control when the factory itself might actually be smarter than the people running it? To really get our heads around Quality 4.0, we've got to look back at how we even got here. It's been quite a journey, basically from people with clipboards walking the line to incredibly complex code running the whole show. So think of it in waves. Quality 1.0 was super simple. Find the bad ones and pull them off the line. Then with 2.0, we got a bit smarter, standardizing processes to be more consistent. Quality 3.0 brought in total quality management, or TQM, which was this big idea that quality is everyone's job. And now we're at 4.0, using amazing digital tools to actually predict problems and stop them before they even start. And this really gets to the heart of it. The old way was all reactive, waiting for something to break and then fixing it. Quality 4.0 flips that script completely. It's proactive. It uses real-time connected data and automated systems to prevent the problem from ever happening in the first place. That's a huge shift. Okay, so what is this thing really? Let's nail down a proper definition. The term itself was actually coined by Dan Jacob over at LNS Research, and the goal was pretty clear. Get quality professionals ready to be leaders using all this new Industry 4.0 tech to deliver amazing products. So at the end of the day, Quality 4.0 isn't just about buying a bunch of new robots or software. It's about weaving these incredible digital tools into every single part of quality management, from the first plan to the final improvement, all to create value in a much smarter and faster way. Now, you might also hear people call it TQM 4.0, and that makes perfect sense. It's pretty much the evolution of that total quality management idea we talked about, just supercharged with all the powerful tools that Industry 4.0 gives us. All right, let's get into the cool stuff. What are the actual technologies that make this whole transformation happen? Let's look inside the digital toolkit. First up, we've got the brains of the operation: artificial intelligence and machine learning. You can think of this as the central intelligence driving everything. So how does AI change the game? Well, instead of a person digging through data to figure out why something failed, AI can actually predict a failure before it happens. It can even let machines tweak and correct themselves on the fly without anyone needing to step in. That just wipes out a huge amount of human error. Next, if AI is the brain, then we need a nervous system to connect everything. And that's the Industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT. The IoT is how the system gets all its information. It's basically this giant web of sensors and connected devices all over the factory, on the machines, even on the products themselves. And this network is constantly streaming real-time data back to that AI brain, giving you a live, crystal-clear picture of everything that's happening. So we have a brain and a nervous system. What's missing? The fuel that makes it all run. And that fuel is big data and analytics. Because think about it. All that data collected by the IIoT is just a ton of noise without big data analytics. This is the technology that sifts through those mountains of data to find the hidden patterns and insights. It's what turns all that raw information into something you can actually use, letting you make decisions based on the hard evidence, not just a gut feeling. But, and this is a really important but, technology is only ever half the story. The human side of things, the culture, the skills, the leadership, that is every bit as critical to making this work. For Quality 4.0 to really work, you absolutely have to get the people part right. This isn't about replacing people, it's about empowering them. Leaders have to really champion this change, not just sign off on a budget. Your teams are going to need new skills, so you've got to invest seriously in upskilling and reskilling them to be data interpreters, not just manual inspectors. And maybe most importantly, those old walls between departments have to come crashing down. Your quality experts and your IT folks need to be working together as one team, all wrapped in a company culture that's hungry to use these tools to get better every single day. Okay, so this all sounds fantastic, right? But how does a company actually pull this off? Well, adopting Quality 4.0 is definitely a journey. And like any big journey, it has its challenges, and you're gonna need a good map. And let's be real, this is not a simple plug-and-play upgrade. There are major hurdles. The tech itself costs a lot, and you need a powerful infrastructure that can handle a flood of new data. Then you have to make sure this whole project actually fits with the company's main goals, so it's not just some expensive side project. But maybe the biggest challenge is the human one, dealing with resistance to change and building a whole new digital-first mindset. So, how do you navigate all that? Well, a really solid roadmap is the classic plan, do, check, act cycle. It gives you a clear path. You plan your strategy, you do the hard work of digitizing, you constantly check your progress to see what's working, and then you act on what you've learned to keep improving. It's a loop, a continuous journey, not a destination. So, with all this incredible technology pushing quality closer and closer to absolute perfection, it kind of makes you wonder, what could possibly be next? And believe it or not, the conversation is already starting to shift. As we get better and better at mastering the technical side of quality, the focus is beginning to expand to something much more holistic. And that leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about. As Quality 4.0 helps us create nearly flawless products, could the next frontier, what people are starting to call Quality 5.0, be less about just technical perfection and more about connecting that perfection to human values and the health of our planet? Now that's an exciting future to build.
Thanks for watching.